by Mitch Vareldis.
And they get it into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He lets the ball fall, and that'll do it. Thunder win it. 121-109, the final in Game 3. Oklahoma City takes a 3-0 lead, which, as we know in NBA history, has never been come back from. And the Suns will try to be the first.
Well, if you want to make history, it's right there before you for the Phoenix Suns. Suns lose, now go down 3-0 in this first-round series. Oklahoma City Thunder had their way with it in the second half of this game. 121-109, the final score, as the Suns now trail 3-0, backs fully against the wall here in this first-round series. Welcome into Phoenix Suns post-game show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, as well as on the Arizona Sports app, and now streaming on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Hello, YouTube. Hope you're having a good afternoon today. Mitch Vareldis here with you as we are going to recap this one. We're going to check in with our Suns guru, Kellen Olson, and we're going to take your guys' thoughts via the phones. 602-260-9870. Again, 602-260-9870 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation today. You're also more than welcome to hop into the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, the live stream chat. Feel free to vent your feelings in there. I already see a few of you hopping in, saying hello, what's up, hi, how are you? Hope you're doing all right this afternoon. All right, let's get to it. I would say that there were aspects about this game that gave the Suns a window or an opportunity to really surprise a lot of people in the association today. It's not like the Thunder were really blowing them away. There were the closes of the first quarter and the close of the second quarter that really opened things up for Oklahoma City. Those two runs to close those two respective quarters gave them a 9-point advantage going into halftime. Suns were able to just shave off 1 point on that deficit going into the fourth quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, it was a real struggle for offense in general. In the fourth quarter, in spite of scoring 30 points, the Suns were 9 of 21 from the field. Devin Booker, 0 for 3. Jalen Green, 1 for 5. It's not going to get it done. It really isn't. You can't just have one dude going off in the fourth quarter if you expect to win, not let alone against the best team in the NBA, but against this team in general. Not that the Thunder shot much better, 10 of 23 from the field and 4 of 12 from 3. They got a couple more points from the free throw line, but you cannot afford to have your best players shrinking in the most important quarter of the game. It's not conducive to winning, unfortunately. Overall, the numbers weren't spectacular either for Green and Booker in terms of the shooting efficiency. Green finished 8 of 19. Booker finished 6 of 16. They were much better in terms of controlling the basketball. 3 first-half turnovers by the Suns. That unfortunately ballooned to 8 in the second half and 11 overall. But much more protective of the basketball. I think that that's a positive that we can take from this. Dylan Brooks seemingly finding his groove offensively. Another 30-point performance. He had 33 in this one. 11 of 21. He was 4 of 9 from long range and 7 rebounds and assists. Had foul trouble again. He got up to 5 in this one. But, I mean, I'm going to be frank with you. What do you want me to say? And this isn't me trying to be like in a pouty mood or whatever, but this is me just trying to be honest about the situation that the Phoenix Suns are in right now. They're in a first-round series against the best team in the NBA, and in the first game, they looked very uncompetitive from start to finish. In the second game, they seemingly found a groove again, but they couldn't finish the job. And then in this game, where you've got the home crowd behind you, you've got a strong performance and a strong start again out of your unit. Got Grayson Allen coming back into the game for the first time this series, and you think that's going to provide an offensive boost as well. And quite frankly, it was just kind of the same game as game 2 at the end of the day. I don't know what I would have anticipated from this series. I'm not sure I would have expected a ton of shock and awe per se, but I definitely would have expected a little bit better than what we've seen in the first 3 games. Maybe Game 4 will give us something to ride home about. Maybe Game 4 will make us feel good going into the offseason, but I don't know if I'm going to feel super good if this team gets swept and in Game 4 they just get embarrassed on their home floor. That's not the basketball team that we learned to love throughout most of this year. If you're thinking about it from a wide range aspect, in the 5 games post regular season that the Suns have played, they're 1-4. Losing the game to the Blazers, winning the game against the Warriors, and then so far 0-3 against the Thunder. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Probably not. They haven't had Mark Williams for any of these games. At this rate, I'd be shocked if he plays in Game 4 on Monday. You had a chance at getting Jordan Goodwin back in this game, and then he was ruled out before the game, so clearly he wasn't ready to go, even though he was getting close. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to try and pretend like, yeah, they can win 4 straight. Absolutely, this team can do it. I don't know if I want to even go as far as they can win 1, and that's disrespectful, I know, but they've got to show me that they can actually win these games because they haven't been able to win quarters. They've barely been able to put together runs to get themselves into these games. It's the best team in the NBA, and you drew the short straw, unfortunately. And anytime that we think that there's going to be a change in terms of rotations, in terms of adjustments, some of the adjustments are there, but the rotation changes are not. And then sometimes the rotation changes are there, but then the adjustments are not. And it's what you're left to work with, unfortunately. I want to say this too. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was spectacular offensively. 42 points on 15 of 18 shooting. 2 of those 3 misses came from the 3-point line. 11 of 12 from the free throw line, which seems like a reasonable number for Shai. 4 rebounds, 8 assists, and a steal. 42 points. I believe I saw that was a playoff career high for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let me double check that before I just say things out loud. Career high for points in a postseason game. He's also the first Thunder player in franchise history to score 40 points on 80% shooting in a postseason game. That dude is, he's pretty good. I did find it hilarious. He had that moment when he drove in for contact and he made the tough bucket that resulted in the timeout, and he's looking at the bench and he's saying, I don't need it. I don't need it. And you can totally lip read that he's saying, I don't need it, which is just hilarious coming from the guy that seemingly goes to the free throw line more than anybody else in the entire association. But either way, I'm not going to do a ton of sugarcoating. If you guys want to call in and you want to try and set me up to believe that the Suns can win 1 game, that the Suns can win the next 4 games, I'm all ears. But I'm just going to be Debbie Downer for the most of today. I'm just going to try and be as realistic as I can, because at this rate, I don't see the Suns winning 1 game. I just don't. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll hear from you. 602-260-9870 is the number if you want to call in and share your thoughts. 602-260-9870 is the number to call. You can also hang out on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. The YouTube live stream is rolling. Say hello to the people in the comments right now. I see you, Gray, Robert, Garrett, Reaper. Hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. We'll come back and react more next. Suns now down 3-0 in the first round of the playoffs here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Megan's grandfather bought his first Ranger here. Her dad bought his first F-150 here. And she just drove off the lot in a new Ford Expedition for her family. 3 generations, all choosing Sanderson Ford. Visit Sanderson during their anniversary sale and see why. Right now, purchase a 26 Ford F-150 starting as low as $42,995 and choose the dealership families have been trusting for over 70 years. Choose Sanderson Ford. Offer on stock number 26542. Excludes tax, title, license, and $599 doc fee. Offers expire April 30th, 2026.
Pet owners and parents know the struggle. Every time dogs or kids go outside, they track mud right back in. If you're tired of scrubbing floors, you need Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that cleans paws and shoes before they ruin your home. Only Muddy Mat features thousands of ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary mats, instantly trapping dirt and water to protect your floors. Put it by every door, under pet bowls, in the kitchen for spills. It even makes a perfect bath mat. And it's 100% machine washable, so cleanup is effortless.
Since getting Muddy Mat, I don't worry about what my dog gets into. His paws are clean the second he steps off.
No more mopping. I love it. Thank you, Muddy Mat.
Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's BUYMUDDYMAT.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at buymuddymat.com.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where fine jewelry is always crafted with care no matter the price. Mother's Day, birthdays and graduations, weddings and anniversaries, the new job you got, and even the one you didn't. Give a birthstone necklace, a heart-shaped locket made in Italy, or high-quality diamond studs you can trade up every year. At Shane Company, we have something for everyone, because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Mitch Vareldis, Arizona Sports, Suns postgame.
It's guarded by Caruso. Feeds Booker left wing. He bounces it to O'Neal. Now Green gets it back, penetrates. Back to Booker left wing. He goes baseline, stops in the left block, and gives to Green for a 3, and that's good again. Jalen Green, 3 for 6 from deep. He's got 20 to lead the Suns. They're back within 6 with a minute left in the third.
Suns had a few leads in this one. Only a few, though. Their largest lead at one point was 9 in the first quarter, and then Oklahoma City turned on the afterburners and just went into full-on best team in the league mode after that. Suns lose in Game 3 to the Thunder, 121-109 the final score. Suns now trail 3-0 in this best of 7. Game 4 is coming up on Monday night from Phoenix. Welcome into Phoenix Suns postgame show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Mitch Vareldis here with you on Arizona Sports 98.7 on the Arizona Sports app and on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Hello, YouTube. Hope you're doing well this afternoon. Now taking your phone calls as well at 602-260-9870 is the number to call. 602-260-9870. We'll kick things off in the great state of Texas. Samuel from El Paso is up first on this edition of Suns Post Game. What's going on, Samuel?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, I know that like there was a lot of mistakes with Phoenix with some turnovers, man. I seen it, but like I hate to keep bringing this up, and maybe it's more noticeable because I'm a Suns fan. But the referees dictate a lot of the game. When you're seeing it, a lot of the times when Phoenix looks like they're having that momentum, there was a lot of I don't want to cuss on line, but there was a lot of like, you know, what's he called, man? Some BS calls that really messed up our momentum. And every single time I see Phoenix making that run, right away it was a foul call on Phoenix, and that these refs need to be accountable. There needs to be some kind of incentive taken away from them when these things are happening, because it's happening a lot. And there's not only Suns fans that are seeing this now, but I mean, I'm over here in Texas, and I got a lot of buddies of mine that are saying, like, man, they're really spoiling these guys right here, man. But just wanted to say, like, I am putting out a statement and writing some stuff down, and I encourage everybody as well that they write a statement to the NBA that we're seeing this is becoming very like it's boring. It's BS. And I know a lot of people couldn't agree with that. But thanks for taking my call, guys.
Appreciate it, Samuel. Thanks so much for calling in, even from an hour or two ahead of us here in Arizona. I'm going to be honest. I was not nearly as bothered by the officiating in this game as I was in Game 2. Otherwise, you probably would have heard me talk about it in the opening segment. Personal foul totals, 25 on Phoenix, 22 on OKC. Free throw distribution, 21 attempts for the Thunder, 23 for the Suns. As far as like fouls that would have occurred that had me throwing up my arms and questioning how basketball is being officiated, I can't personally recall that many. Maybe I'm just being forgetful, or maybe I'm trying to put past the idea of officiating being a factor in this series, but I don't know. I don't think it was nearly as much of a problem in this game. I know that a lot of people would feel differently, I'm sure, especially with this being the team. I'll tell you what, though, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of Chet Holmgren just kind of knocking his head back every time he gets touched. That's pretty annoying. So outside of that, I don't think the officiating is much of a problem, at least today. There were some glaring issues in Game 2 that we all talked about already, but in this one today, I don't know that it was necessarily much of an impact personally. Let's keep it rolling on the phones. Scott in Scottsdale is up next here on the Suns postgame show. What's up, Scott?
Hey, how you doing? I'm tired of hearing about the refs. I'm more concerned. I'm baffled by the coaches' ignorance and not realize that you can't play a team, a big team like Portland, like this team, with 6'5" forwards and a center that ends up getting 3 rebounds and doesn't defend the rim. I mean, when's he going to – all I heard last year was how good of a defender Dunn was. All I heard this year was Fleming is a fantastic defensive player. We drafted Malawat for one reason, to be a rim protector. We can't win with the guys we're playing right now. We're too small. What has to happen, in your opinion, for them to go to make these switches so we can physically match up? And I don't want to hear that Malawat doesn't know the offense or the defense. He's not a rookie anymore. He knows what he's doing. And when he's in there, they don't drive to the basket. Right now, it's almost like Oso's not even in there. So I appreciate you taking my call, and I want to hear your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, for calling in. Appreciate hearing your thoughts. I know that this is a sticking point for a lot of people. The size of this team is just not there. Going small ball in the most pivotal quarter of the game is a clear indication that, number one, they only trust Oso as a center right now. Kaman Malawach played 6.5 minutes, and really a chunk of that was at the end of the game when it was just basically done for. My answer as far as how do you fix this problem is you go into the offseason and you fix it, okay? Because there is not an in-house fix for this roster. I hate to break it to you. All of the people that are begging for Kaman Malawach to get minutes on the floor, I asked, did you watch the minutes that he had out there today where there was a defensive lapse? I don't think it was his fault. It looked more like Jalen Green's fault, where A.J. Mitchell just kind of weaves around and cuts in and has an open lane to the paint. And then Royce O'Neal starts barking at Kaman Malawach. And it's clear based off of the players' reactions that he's the one at fault there, whether he realizes it or not. But the bigger issue is that him being out there and imposing a size threat will then creates a problem on offense because he hasn't been able to stretch the floor enough. I know he has the ability to shoot from 3, but the Thunder don't give a rat's ass if Malawach is playing outside. They really don't. So in general, it's just a flawed construction of the roster where you're trying to build around these guys that do space and pace, trying to drive into the rim and create contact. They take a lot of tough twos. The pieces are not conducive to being able to have that type of a successful roster. They're just not. So in my opinion, the only way to fix this is to go into the offseason and fix it, because you can't fix it the way that it is right now. You clearly cannot rely on Mark Williams because he's, once again, proven to be too injury prone in spite of this being a career year for him. I just think that there's going to be a lot of changes around that position this offseason. And if they can't develop Malawach into being the true 10th overall pick, then that's going to look like a complete bust as well, which is a real shame that I'm talking about it like that in year one. But, man, I don't know. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's check in now with Tom in Phoenix, who is up next here on the Suns postgame show. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Mitch. How we doing there, buddy? How you doing?
Well, I just looked
can
up.
I call you Mitch? Can I call you Mitchy Mitch?
I guess you can. That's fine. I just looked up, and Alec Thomas hit a home run, and it's 4-0 D-backs in the bottom of the second. So there's that.
Oh man, after I listen to your postgame show, I'm going to switch over to the game, and I'm super excited about the Cardinals draft. But let's just talk about the Suns. So here's my my kind of like overview of the Suns season, since it's pretty much over. You know, I mean, they're going to play this fourth game, but there's almost no point, really. I mean, they might as well just forfeit. But here's the deal. I think Jordan Ott, you know, got these guys all like pumped up and excited, and they came out the chutes, you know, playing you know, playoff basketball from day one. You know, meaning they played hard. Even coaches, you know, were making comments on it. I think the Miami Heat coach made comment, and you know, everyone was impressed on how intense and how hard they played. And then as the season progressed, you know, they basically have gotten back to, you know, all the other teams are starting to, you know, hey, we need to play hard against the Suns. And anyway, that's kind of how things gone. Now, the other problem that we have is we just don't have that good of a team. And you know, our bench, I think, scored like 12 points. The other OKC scored 36 points, and our bench scored 12. But I don't really want to talk about everybody else. I want to talk about who is supposed to be our number one absolute best franchise player, if I can use a football term. Devin Booker, 6 for 16. I mean, is it 16 points that he ended up with tonight? 16 points.
Yes.
Okay, so come on, 16 points, and Shea had 42. I mean, we basically just need to realize that Book is not Book anymore. He's never been the same since the Dallas series. He can still play, you know, pretty good in meaningless games, but when it comes to important games, the fourth quarter, the end of this season in the fourth quarter, and these 3 playoff games so far, he just is terrible. I mean, he's out there not even paying attention. He gets his pocket picked, you know, and Shea goes down for a dunk or whatever. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just pure laziness. I mean, nobody should get their pocket picked like that easily in the NBA, especially Devin Booker. So, you know, who can we trade him for? You know, who could we trade him for? Is it going to be Ja, and maybe Ja's personal life and problems can be fixed? Is it you know, the guy from the Bucks? I forgot his name. I'm brain dead. My nephew absolutely loves the guy. I mean, but let's just face it. We are not going to get any farther than we have this year with Devin Booker as supposedly our number one player. I mean, I know Gambo was talking about it a lot earlier in the week, I think on Monday and Tuesday. So anyway, that's, you know, I don't want to be all negative. I know there's going to be a lot of people that think, oh, no, what are you talking about? You know, Booker this, Booker that. Oh, he's the best. He just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, how many games do we have to see that he puts up clunkers in the most important games till we both realize, everybody realizes, he just doesn't have it anymore. And, I mean, you know, he can complain about the refs all he wants. That still isn't going to, you know, I mean, 16 points. I mean, I think he shot under 40, like right at about, like under, like he was, the percentage was terrible. I mean, the fact is Dylan Brooks is not even supposed to be this great offensive player, and he's our best offensive player. So, again, they still, you know, did get better than we thought they would, but I just think that, you know, I would like to see Ishbia make another bold move by trading Booker, and let's try something new. That's just my personal opinion. Take it for what it's worth. You have a great rest of your day and night, and go everybody else. Go Suns, go D-backs, go ASU, and let's go Cardinals!
Thank you for calling in, Tom. Appreciate it. Looking back at the numbers so far in the series, if you're just looking at purely the shooting statistics, Devin Booker, 8 of 17 for 23 points in game 1 and 5 of 7 from the free throw line. I don't know if that really matters in this conversation, but either way. Devin Booker in game 2, 22 points on 7 of 14, 0 for 3 from long range. Devin Booker in game 3, I'm being reminded on the YouTube chat, there was the moment where Booker exited the game. He got tripped by Lou Dort, had to go back to the locker room, was gone for a brief minute, and then made his return. Maybe his ankle wasn't as fully healthy as it was, but I don't know. Tonight he was 6 of 16 from the field, just 16 points. The thing that really bothers me more so, and I'm being the microcosm guy again, but I'm looking at a situation like the fourth quarter where you were able to shave off a point in the deficit to the Thunder, and you have a chance to really go after them because you're playing much better defense today. You're seemingly keeping pace with some of the other guys. You're forcing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to be the guy, and he very much was the guy today. Don't get me wrong. And in the fourth quarter, Devin Booker was 0 for 3. Dylan Brooks was 6 for 9. Jalen Green was 1 for 5. I don't know. I'm not going to go to the lengths of, like, they need to trade him. I feel like there's a way of building this roster around him, making it work for him. And I only say that because this organization has done that once already, and it wasn't too long ago that they had success with it. Do they specifically need Chris Paul to make it work? Do they specifically need Jay Crowder? Like, what is it? I really don't know what it is as to why Devin Booker all of a sudden is not that 28 a game guy anymore. He's closer to 24 a game, and that's 24 a game, and the occasional assist totals and the occasional rebound totals is just not going to cut it. He had 7 assists today, 25 assists on 38 makes. I don't know. I really don't know. I hate going down this rabbit hole. I really do, but sooner or later, it's going to be a question that is asked at the top. I'm sure it is. All right. Let's take one more caller before we take a timeout. Josh in Mesa, you're up next here on the Suns postgame show. What's up, Josh?
Hey, how's it going, Mitch?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Just pretty bummed out, just like everybody. I mean, it's rough. It's rough watching your team from the beginning of the season and seeing how much energy they played with. I get we're missing our Energizer Bunny with Goodwin today, but it just sucks. It sucks seeing our guys not being able to close out on shots and seeing like the Thunder had a lot of space on the floor, and just seemed like our competitive spirit just hasn't been there. I'm driving home from the game right now, so I'm trying to keep them short and sweet, but I appreciate you taking the call. I'm just angry, and I don't know what else to say. It's a real bummer this season, and looking forward to a better off season. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in, Josh. Sorry that this one's got you down. This is kind of a dark spot right now, I would say, for some Suns fans. And I know a lot of you are frustrated with how the play-in tournament works out for a team that won 3 more games than the team that beat them in the play-in for the 7th seed. I know a lot of you are frustrated that Oklahoma City seemingly gets away with a lot in terms of their physicality and the way these basketball games are played. And I'm sure there's a small populace of you that are frustrated just with the team as it is right now. This is not the same team that we saw in the first 50 games of the season. It just isn't. And maybe you disagree with my opinion on that, but that's why I'm here, is so that you can disagree with the things that I have to say. This has not been the same team since the first 50 games of the season. And I'm sure a lot of you will say, well, Mitch, they had injuries. Who was injured for the first 50 games of the season? Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get more of your guys' reaction. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Arizona Sports. Thanks to the YouTube audience as well. Hi, YouTube. I see you guys screaming at me. Calvin, I'm doing my best. I promise. Gray, Alex, the real dark half. What's going on, guys? Thanks for hanging out this afternoon. This is the Suns postgame show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Arizona Sports Suns postgame, hosted by Mitch Vareldis.
And the Suns are down 15, 119-104. Brooks, a step back three. That's good. Straight away for Dylan Brooks. His fourth make on 9 tries from deep. He's got 33.
Suns had some opportunities in this one. Got to play in front of the home crowd in a playoff game for the first time since 2024. And unfortunately, the Suns are fully back against the wall after this afternoon. Thunder 121, Suns 109. Final score in this game 3 of this Western Conference first round series. Welcome back into Suns postgame. Mitch Vareldis back here with you here on Arizona Sports 98.7 on the Arizona Sports app and on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. What's up, YouTube? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you guys hanging out this afternoon, being a source of venting frustration, sadness, optimism. I don't know if there's any of those of you out there, but if there are, cool. Either way, let's keep it rolling. We got a bunch of you guys on the phone waiting patiently for your turn to speak, so let's get right back to it. Dion in Phoenix is up next here on Suns postgame. What's up, Dion?
What's up, Mitch? Hey, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I called in after the play-in, and I was speaking on behalf of Devin Brooks, looking like he was pretty much a deer in headlights, and if he doesn't show up, then we're definitely not going to have a chance because, you know, every team needs their superstars to show up. And so far this series, obviously, as you can tell, he still has not shown up, and I'm hearing lots of callers speaking on behalf of that now as well. I'm not going to say I want him traded or anything like that. I don't want to go to the extreme or anything like that, but whatever pep in his step that he's lost, he definitely needs to, you know, go sit by himself in the off season or do something, go meditate something and get that back because he still is a superstar player. He's just not playing up to what he should be playing up to. I also saw that the media was saying maybe possibly he's playing hurt and we just don't know about it. And that's why he's not really, doing what he's supposed to be doing. But if it's not that case and it's not the fact that he's just playing scared, then I would just have to say that OKC has definitely beyond belief said, hey, we're going to let you guys beat us, but it's going to have to be without Devin Brooks. And so I would have to give my kudos to them on shutting him out of these games. Now, my last point I want to say is they really have got to do something about this flopping in the league. It's a really horrible watch for the game. They really got to do something really harsh about that, because they got to do something as far as, if we see you guys do it twice or something like that and we catch it, you're kicked out of the game for that game or something, because it's really hurting the integrity and watchability of the game. And it really has got to stop. You didn't see this back in the days of Jordan's times and all that, whatever have you, and they were a lot more physical then. And you didn't see all this flopping. I mean, and it's really bad when you talk about the best player in the league of this day and age, LeBron James, and you see him do it about 17 times per game, so on and so forth. But, yeah, other than that, I'll take your comments off the air, and I appreciate you letting me speak, man. Both Suns.
Dion, appreciate you calling back in. Good to hear from you again on this edition of Suns Post Game. As far as Booker's ankle, I'm seeing some post-game quotes here now, and I've got Kellen Olson on standby from the arena. We'll get to him in just a second. I'm seeing from Devin Booker post-game that he said his ankle is fine. He was asked if he's gotten a chance to look back at what happened, and then he said, quote, I don't know if it's intentional or not. I've seen that he stuck the leg out a little bit. He threw up his hand to say that it was a foul. So I'm not going to read too much into it, but Luguentz Dort apparently has a recent history when it comes to maybe sticking the leg out just a tad too far. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's check in now with Kellen Olson, who's joining us now from the Mortgage Matchup Center in downtown Phoenix. Hi, Kel. Suns are down 0-3, and I'm not really surprised, I guess, is where I'm going to start here.
Oh, no, yeah. This is kind of what we expected, right? I think that those are expectations before the series, but after game 2, I expected this game to have more Suns control in it. It felt like they were climbing uphill the entire time when it felt like OKC should be the team, maybe not on its back foot, but no Jalen Williams, no Isaiah Joe. We saw how that really contained OKC's offense from a perimeter shooting perspective. Those guys combined to shoot like 35%. They shot below that as a team. But SGA really had it going, and the Suns offensively just didn't have enough consistency. There were the 2 runs at the end of each quarter in the first half that basically decided the game. They only turned it over 3 times in the first half. It was a massive improvement, but they negated all of that because of the runs that they gave up at the end of the quarters. That's what superstar championship teams do, and that is what this is, even with guys out.
There's speaking of superstars, there's been a growing chatter this game as well. I don't know if you saw the fourth quarter numbers from Devin Booker yet, but Ofer, I guess you could say, is the easiest way to put it, and just seemingly unimpactful. I don't want to be too critical of it because he did have the ankle take him out of the game for a brief moment, so I don't want to assume too much. But we've seen the pattern with the fourth quarters in particular with Devin, where it's just not doing enough, and it's not conducive to them winning basketball games right now, Kel.
No, it's not, and he's fine with deferring to Dylan and Jalen when they have it going, but the difference between them having it going and Book having it going is that Book will get others involved. Everyone else just stays around when those guys have it going. We saw it at the start of the second quarter even, which wasn't like a run of points. Like there wasn't like a massive swing in the game, but like from a rhythm standpoint, the Suns had 8 assists in the first quarter. The ball was moving. And then it was just a lot of Booker and Green isolations at the start of the second quarter. And they're just not going to win basketball games playing that way, which is why Book has to take over the offense. It's just not the right night to have the conversation because he's hurt. But that's not going to stop us from having it. You can return to any other conversations we've had before. You can look at what Shea did tonight. You can look at what Ant did 2 years ago, Jokic, Doncic, Giannis. I thought of Devin Booker as a top 10 player in the league, a borderline top 10 player in the league, even coming into this season while people had their doubts. But I think we're pretty locked in now over the last couple of years. We haven't seen him reach those heights in quite a while. And other players continue to come in this building and reach those heights while he's incapable of doing it.
Well, that was where I was going to go next, was the guy that came into this building and decided to go 15 of 18 from the field. Didn't necessarily... he joked, he mouthed it to the camera, or he was screaming at the bench of like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't know if you got a chance to see that replay after Shea hit that tough 2, but he was just unstoppable from an offensive standpoint in this one. Finally got called for an offensive foul. Thank God. So he's not immune to that, but he was just the engine that ran right through the Suns defense in this one, Kel.
Yeah, he doesn't need free throws. It certainly helps him, and it helps him be more productive, but he shot 83% from the field, and he was 15 of 18. When you look at every player that has attempted at least 15 shots in a playoff game here that was a visiting player in this building in the past 33 years, it was the highest field goal percentage ever. So he just did some absolutely insane stuff. He was masterful. He was amazing. He's arguably the best player in the league. I still think it's Jokic by a hair, but that's not looking too good over the last week. I didn't mean that as a shot to you, by the way, Mitch. That just came up naturally in the conversation. I apologize for it even coming up in the first place. But yeah, Shea's just one of those guys. And again, like we talk about the heights that he reached in this series, Book used to be able to match those heights and even surpass those heights and outplay that guy. He just has not been capable of that for the last couple of years, and it's going to continue to hold the Suns back at like this level of the season that we're talking about, because you can look kind of across the Western Conference and say like, okay, like what if they finished out the regular season strong and they were the 3 seed or the 4 seed or the 5 seed? You look at all of those teams. We're talking about Luka and LeBron. We're talking about Kevin. We're talking about I'm blanking on the other teams, Jokic and Ant. Like we're talking about the same guys that would be reaching those heights again. Like LeBron did it at 41 years old the other night. Like it's just not going to happen right now for him. And that obviously changes the conversation. We have a whole lot to talk about in the summer, and as you know, I'll wait till the summer to talk about it.
So then let's focus on this Game 4 coming up on Monday. Let's pretend you're now the head coach, or you're a key decision maker with this Suns organization. You're going into this Game 4 down 3-0, and you, Kellen Olson, are allowed to make one decision that cannot be refuted, cannot be told off. Whatever it is, you get the say. What is one thing that you are going to change about this Suns team when it comes to this Game 4 on Monday night?
Can I say make more threes? Do I have that power to decide if the ball goes in or not?
Sure, yeah, that counts.
That's what I would do. Any tactical decision, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know Suns fans are mad, and I'm sure there's more fire hot stuff today. The not Fleming not playing, whatever. There is no tactical schematic one thing away from this turning into a Suns win on Monday. They just have to play better. I talked about this after Game 1. Didn't talk about it after Game 2 because they played really great in Game 2, and then all that progress was gone in this game. I thought their defensive execution at the start of the game was terrible. They're chasing Dort and other shooters off the line. Like, it was just unnecessary for them to be playing that way defensively. Like, they have a lot of room to grow for sure, and like heights to reach in that regard that they just weren't doing over there at the start that I thought. So overall, this was a okay Suns performance, but I think this is the one that really got away from them because SGA masterclass, no one else really had it going for them. You got a ton from Dylan Brooks, a ton from Jalen Green. If a couple more threes go in and you play better defense, you win this game.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how things shake out on Monday night. And Kellen, you'll be right there where you are right now, ready for that Monday night game. And we thank you, as always, for the great coverage that you do for us here at Arizona Sports. We'll talk again on Monday, okay?
Sounds good, man. See you later.
All right, that's Kellen Olson joining us from the arena. As always, grateful for Kellen's coverage in this one. Let's squeeze in one more call, and then we'll take another timeout here on the Phoenix Suns postgame show. Thank you if you've been patiently waiting your turn to speak. We're getting to you guys now. Don in Avondale, you are up next here on the Suns postgame show. What's up, Don? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, what's up, Mitch? How you guys doing? Well, just like everybody else, I mean, I'm going to echo a little bit of the frustration. However, you know, I think we weren't expecting us to get to this level anyways, right? So obviously this was a successful season. I know the off season is going to be a big deal. And I do agree somewhat of what people are saying with Devin Booker, but Devin Booker is a great player. I think he is a great number 2. I don't think he's a number 1 option, and I don't want to say to trade him because I do. Obviously, he's loyal to AZ, and AZ's loyal to him, right? But I do think that Giannis is going to be a big option and people are going to be wanting him. And I've heard through the grapevine that you know, Suns are one of his preferred destinations. So if we can pair Booker with, you know, again, a number 1, a true number 1 option, I think it's going to be, you know, what we definitely need. You know, what we have to get rid of to get Giannis is another story. But Devin Booker is a great number 2 option. You can tell that he's just not a number 1. I mean, look at SGA. He's a true number 1. He's showing up 25, 35, and 42. on all 3 games. And it's not like the Suns aren't double teaming him either. So we can't just sit here and say, well, hey, Devin Booker's getting double teamed and, they got these schemes off of him. We're doing the same thing for their number one. So it's just, he's just having a hard time, overcoming that in showing up when the lights are on type of thing. Right. So I'm just really looking forward to figuring out what we're going to do next year, because I do really think that the Suns are going to be a really good team next year. I mean, because, there's some pieces that we did this past year to get us to where we're at now. But I do think that the team is going to look a lot different depending on who we get, and I think Giannis is going to be a big person that we're going to go after. So, but that's all I got to say. Again, I appreciate you taking my call, and, I'm hoping for the best next year.
Don, appreciate you calling in. Thanks for sharing your thoughts this afternoon. I'm sure that'll be a tantalizing topic when the summer comes around as well. I'm not going to do the whole, what's the word? I'm not going to go down the Giannis rabbit hole right now. It feels like that would just put this organization right back where they were when they tried to start over this organization and make it a little less expensive and top heavy and overly reliant on things. And I'm sure a lot of you are saying like, oh, well, Giannis, he's a different kind of player than KD. He's a different kind of style than Bradley Beal. It was a different kind of basketball team. Look, I just don't think it's an effective strategy to go after a guy who's going to be 32 years old next year and had dealt with a bevy of injuries this past season. Like, I get it. Giannis is an otherworldly talent, and they call him a Greek freak for a reason. But how many games did he play this past year? Do you know? I don't. And the answer is most certainly not at least 65, because otherwise he might be up for some things at the end of this year, and he's not. So I just, off the surface level, I'm like, no, please, just build a basketball team the right way. If it somehow results in that, then so be it. But I'm not a fan of that right now. All right, let's take our final timeout. We'll come back. If you're still calling in, we've got some time for you. 602-260-9870. If you're on hold, we've still got some time for you. If you're hanging out in the Arizona Sports YouTube chat right now, hello. Hope you're doing well. Sorry that we're doing too much to get you guys going. But either way, we'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of Suns Postgame next here on Arizona Sports.
There are countless personal injury attorneys in Arizona. How in the world do you know whom to choose? Hey, everybody, it's Dan Bickley, and here is why you choose the attorneys at Sweet James when you are hurt in an accident. Number one, Sweet James used to work defending insurance companies, and so did many of his attorneys, and they were disgusted by how insurance companies take advantage of everyday people at their weakest moments, and now they use their passion, experience, and knowledge to give injured victims a voice. Secondly, they are one of the only firms that have attorneys with experience in over 500 trials, and they constantly deliver some of the top settlements in the state. Now, it's the compassion for injured victims that drive them to win and win big. So if you are hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-9-million, 800-900-0000. Find them online at sweetjames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Green, the rebound for the Suns. Good defense there by Colin Gillespie on Cason Wallace. Now Booker drives into Dort, hangs in the air, feeds Brooks right wing. Out to Colin. Now Oso to the rim. He'll lay it in. And now Colin ready to inbound. Gets it to Oso on the right wing. He holds it. Waits for Booker to come around a screen. Instead gives to Colin Gillespie for three. And that's good on the left side. Gillespie punches his fist in the air as the Suns get within 4. 64-60. Collins got 7. That was his first trifecta.
Punches his air. That's right, Bloomer. I'm just teasing. We got 2 Hustle Awards today. You guys might disagree with the 2. I gave them 2. Maybe you agree on one of them. I definitely wanted to give one to Colin Gillespie. Led the team in rebounds today with 10, 3 on offense. He also had a block shot and a steal. And then Oso Ighodaro, the other. The stats don't really shine, but I thought that he was making some motion out there, really trying to keep things in rhythm for this Suns team today. Unfortunately, it resulted in a loss for Phoenix. 121-109, the final score of this afternoon. Suns now down 3-0 in this first-round series against the Thunder, with Game 4 coming up on Monday. Welcome back into Suns Postgame. Mitch Veraldis here with you. Thanks for hanging out here on Arizona Sports on 98.7 and on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a good afternoon. Let's go back to the phones. Just got a couple more of you wanting to share your thoughts, and then we'll get you ready for Monday's game coming up next week. Eli in Payson, you are up now here on the Suns Postgame Show. Eli, you've got the word.
Hey, Mitch. How's it going?
Well, yeah.
I know. I know. So, first and foremost, I wanted to thank you and your crew for being here after every single game, win or lose. And so thank you for that. It was good to hear Kellen and his thoughts. And the one thing that I heard you say was that the Suns are small, and I think some of the other callers have said that, and we are. We play very small ball, and I never thought with the NBA being 6'5" was going to be small, but I guess maybe we need 6'9", 6'9" guys or something. I don't know, but they do bring it, and they are champions for a reason. Whether Booker's hurt or not, I don't know. But I just hope maybe if the Suns could win on Monday, I'm playing the lottery for sure. I'm going to get some scratchers and stuff like that. I wanted to read a tweet real quick from Mr. AZ at Mr. AZ Sports. Not many people thought that the Suns would win over 35 games. They made the playoffs. We are playing with house money right now. Let's see what happens this off season. And I'm a Booker guy through and through. And I'll always, vouch for Devin Booker. That's my guy. And, shout out to Dylan Brooks for getting us this far too. So, I don't know. We'll roll the dice on Monday, right? Roll the dice on Monday. Thanks again, as always, for having this little session for us after every game. Appreciate you, Mitch. Have a good night, okay?
Take it easy, Eli. Appreciate you calling in. To Mr. AZ Sports' point, which, by the way, fun restaurant content from Mr. AZ Sports. In general, I've been bookmarking them, Mr. AZ Sports. I got some places that I got to get to now, thanks to you. But in general, he does bring up the overall point, which I tried to have that same mentality going into this playoff series, which was this Suns season is a tremendous success regardless of what happens in this postseason series. Did I have high expectations for this postseason series? Absolutely not. None. I didn't even think they would win a basketball game in this 7-game set. At the same time, it would have been nice to see some sorts of pieces of progression with this basketball team, right? Like maybe that 4-game sweep at the hands of the Timberwolves when the Suns had Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, maybe that should have been the indicator of things going downhill. Hopefully this is not the same, and hopefully they don't sit on their hands this offseason and just say, yeah, everything's fine. We're going to attribute it to injuries, and that'll just fix everything. I disagree with that, man. Like, there are some areas that they need to address and they need to fix as soon as they can. All right, last call on this edition of Suns Post Game, and then we'll tell you about what's coming up later tonight and later this weekend. Trevor in Surprise, you've got the last word this evening on Suns Post Game. What's up, Trevor?
Sweet, I'm honored. What's up, Mitch?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hey, and I'm going to mention something that I'm surprised not no one has really talked about. And asking the question, why has Booker declined? And in my opinion, it's ever since Chris Paul has left, the last true point guard the Suns had on the roster. Why can't we get this team an actual point guard instead of asking Book to run the point and be our leading scorer? And I know some point guards, Steph Curry, et cetera, can do that, but that's not Book's go-to. And it's just frustrating. Even when Chris Paul was here, the memo was we need a backup point guard because Chris Paul can't stay healthy. Well, now he's been gone for years now, and they still haven't been able to get an actual point guard to let Book play off the ball and do what he does best. And I just think it just adds up to why he's declined, and it's just frustrating that that's not a priority. It hasn't been a priority. Even when Chris Paul was here, we knew he couldn't stay healthy. It wasn't a priority to get a backup point guard then, and now we can't even get an actual true point guard to actually run this offense. And I don't know. I hope they address that in the offseason. I know they have other priorities as well, but I'm just surprised that's not more of an emphasis. It just makes sense to me as to the timeline of when Book started declining was when they didn't have anyone to run the point. So that's all I got to say. Thanks.
Appreciate you calling in, Trevor, and sharing your thoughts. Honored that you got the last word in this one. That's what I was kind of alluding to earlier in terms of surely they can build a successful basketball team around Devin Booker, and the reasoning for that was because they had already done that earlier in this earlier part of the decade. So if they find a way to go back to that, or find a way that's a little more conducive to finding Devin Booker some extra opportunities to be having one-on-one matchups instead of just being the obvious, hey, crash on him, because guess what? He's good at shooting the basketball in the shooty hoop. And then you just live with Jalen Green when he has that one time that he shoots 73% from the floor, or Dillon Brooks that one time that he has a 40-point performance and Devin Booker is out for that game, right? Like you can live with those. I know that Dillon Brooks one was a bad example, but you get where I'm going with, right? Where it's like Dillon Brooks, he's taking over, but the other team is fine with it because as long as we keep Devin Booker out of his rhythm, then everything's okay. If they can build a team that's conducive to that, then maybe we'll see the better Booker again. But right now, we're just not seeing it. And I don't want to assume that it's all him. I want to keep some sort of optimism that there is a team that can be built that succeeds with Devin Booker at the center, but I don't know. I really just don't know. Okay, so here's what you have on deck in regards to the Phoenix Suns. The next time that they will be playing a basketball game is going to be on Monday. That'll be a 6:30 p.m. tip-off, which means we're going to have you covered starting at 5:30 right here on Arizona Sports and the Arizona Sports app and Arizona Sports' YouTube channel. It'll be myself, Dave Burns, John Gambadoro, and then Kellen Olson will be joining in the second segment for Here Come the Suns, starting at 5:30. Maybe it'll be the end of the season, or maybe it'll be a gentleman's end to the season, if you catch my drift there. But again, that game on Monday, 6:30 tip, 5:30 pregame coverage right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and on the Arizona Sports app. I know a lot of you are curious what television provider, streamer that's going to be on. That is a NBC Sports Network / Peacock night for the Suns and Thunder. So keep that in mind as well. Was there anything else I was going to hit on before I said fire the music? You know what? No. Fire the music when you get the chance, if you would.
Tonight I'll have a look and try to find my face again. Buried beneath this house, my spirit screams and dies again. Out back a monster wears a cloak.
Might as well have a literal pick for Song of the Night. For those of you maybe familiar with this band, they were big for me in, I guess it was high school. Cage the Elephant, perhaps you're familiar. Oh gosh, 09, that was end of middle school, beginning of high school for me. Ugh, oopsie. But this song is called Back Against the Wall, because that is what the Phoenix Suns are going into Monday. Down 3-0 in a 7-game series. They are fully back against the wall. So here we go. Let's take a look at what's happening in the NBA coming up later today, and then what's coming up on Sunday. The other final that has taken place in the NBA today is the other 8-1 in the East, though, and the Orlando Magic. I guess it works out to be an 8 seed in the East because the Magic are up 2-1 on the Detroit Pistons, the team that won 60 games. How about it? Game 3, Orlando gets a 113-105 win at home and now take a 2-1 series lead on the Pistons. In Atlanta, the Hawks with a 2-1 advantage on the Knicks in that series. This is Game 4, about a minute until halftime in the ATL, and the Knicks are up by 16 right now, 56-40, but we've seen this story already this year. Don't count out the Hawks late in these games. And then coming up later tonight, a 5:30 tip and a game that we will be carrying right here on Arizona Sports starting at 5, Nuggets and Timberwolves, Game 4, Minnesota up 2-1 in that series. Again, that'll be a 5:30 tip, and you can listen to it here on Arizona Sports starting at 5 o'clock. Also, what you can hear right now, but over on ESPN 620, of course, I turned my head and the stupid Padres just hit a home run. Gosh darn it. Diamondbacks and Padres over on ESPN 620. Top of the 5th inning in Mexico City, and the Diamondbacks are leading, thankfully, 4-1, but the Padres have just made their mark now in this game. That's going to do it for this edition of Suns Post Game. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it as always. We'll be back again at Monday starting at 5:30. Suns lose 121-109. Thanks so much to Kellen Olson. Thanks to Pit Boss and Allie behind the glass. Appreciate you both. Thanks to all of you for hanging out, for listening in, for calling in. Appreciate you guys as well. Again, Nuggets and Wolves coming up right here on FM at 5. Diamondbacks and Padres right now on AM if you want to tune into any of those. I'm Mitch Varel, signing off until Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.